Just wanted to do a quick video on the MPG for a f-150 Ford EcoBoost with the 3.5. And when I was doing my research, you go online and a lot of the reviews that you find are reviews for areas where they live in areas where they don't really have a lot of city driving. Out here in Southern California, it is just almost all city driving. Even if you're on the freeway, it's just a lot of stop and go. Every once in a while you might get up and running, but my particular driving habits are strictly city driving. And I mean city, not like a downtown Los Angeles, but like a suburb city. But these suburbs out here, it is nothing but stop and go traffic. Every 200 to 300 yards there's a stop sign or a stop light. By the time you get up to your speed limit, which is typically between about 35, 40, 45 miles an hour, you are already getting to your next stop sign or stop light. I mean, you rarely get a stretch where you go let's say half a mile without a stop sign. Every once in a while there is, but not like a mile or two where there's no stop sign and you're just humming along. That just doesn't happen over here in the LA suburb area of West Covina. So anyways, what you're looking at here is a average since I last filled it up. You can see I still have a little bit less than a quarter of a tank. I didn't top it off because I gave the attendant a $100 bill thinking it might fill it up, and it didn't. It was pretty empty, but they raised the gas tax down here in California, so $100 won't even fill up this tank. I have the larger fuel capacity tank. I believe it's 36 or 34 gallons. And this right here is just driving regular. I mean, every once in a while I'll punch it, put it in a sport mode and screw around. Most of the time I'm just cruising along, doing my thing. I try to coast it as much as I can when I remember to. Try to coast it once I reach up to speed. I try to cruise it real smooth and then coast it to a stop. And that kind of helps me a little bit. Now, I do drag a trailer that weighs about 9,000 pounds, okay? It's a travel trailer, hooks up to a conventional hitch. And this trip here is, part of that is about 400 miles, probably about 450 miles of that is dragging the trailer up to Vegas and back, and taking it to my trailer storage, plus the rest of it is basically driving it around town unloaded, just regular errands. So you can see 13.6 average, which is not too bad if you're looking to drag a trailer. Now, just so you know, I do dragging the trailer by itself, I average about 10.5 miles per gallon. I drag it up to Big Bear, and I drag it to the Las Vegas area, and I do average about 10.5 dragging a trailer. Now, without dragging the trailer is actually better. It gets better gas mileage than my Nissan Frontier. This Nissan Frontier here gives me about 13.5 miles per gallon, and I do mostly city driving. I do drive on the freeway, but it just gets, even on the freeway, this thing is just the worst. I fill up the tank and I get about 220 miles on a full tank, and it's a V6 automatic. This right here is the 3.5, like I said, EcoBoost with a 10-speed automatic. It has the auto stop on there as well, which is supposed to save you. But one thing is that this is four-wheel drive. It does have the FX4 package, so supposedly it's like an inch higher or inch and a half higher than your standard model. And you also have these wheels on here that are, I guess, a little beefed up, so they're not going to give you the best gas mileage either. So if you're looking into a truck to pull a trailer and you are worried about gas mileage, I'd probably get this thing. And if you don't need to take it off road, just get the 4x2 with the standard wheels and tires. They're probably going to save you a little bit better on the gas mileage. And but if you really don't care, honestly, I would just get the V8, because I would say for the first month and a half that I had this thing, I had buyer's remorse. I wish I would have got the V8, because now that I you know, have aspirations of wanting to put a 6-inch lift on this with some nice wheels. You know, if I do that, guess what? It still has a 3.5 EcoBoost, so it's never going to sound cool. You can never put a awesome sounding exhaust on this thing. Now, if I would have had the V8, I would have still had the towing capacity and the power, and the gas mileage. Yeah, I probably would have suffered a little bit there, but I think I would have been happier in the end. But my next work truck, because I do plan on getting another work truck here, is going to be a Ford F150 with the 2.7 EcoBoost. I think that is actually going to be better than this, way better, I should say, than this Nissan Frontier. The only thing I don't like about these trucks is trying to get stuff out of the back. Is just, you have to climb up and reach over just to reach something from the bed of the truck. I just don't understand why they have to make them so tall. I wish they lowered them like the old school full-size trucks that were about 3 inches lower, and way easier. If you're using these as a work truck, it just makes it easier just to be able to reach over and get your tools. Why would you want to open up your tailgate and have to crawl into your, you know, bed just to drag tools out of there? And then especially if you have a toolbox that you have to open up, and now you have to reach into this toolbox that's even higher. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool if they made a truck with a long bed, a little bit shorter cab, and way lower, like 6 inches lower, so you could just reach in and grab your stuff. Kind of like the old Ford Ranger, you know? Those were pretty cool, but they were a little small. Just a full-size truck, but, you know, that low. It's just really easy to get in and out of, easy to get your tools out of there. But anyways, that's for another subject. So hope this helps you if you're trying to do some research on MPG.